Okay, so I built what I've been calling an AI agent into my MVP. And it works most of the time, and then it just falls over.
Let me guess. When a user does something even slightly outside the happy path, the whole thing breaks.
Yes, exactly that. How did you know?
Because that's the classic sign you don't actually have an agent. You've probably got automation with one AI call glued into the middle of it.
Wait, aren't those kind of the same thing, though?
They really aren't, and mixing them up is exactly why so many AI features turn out brittle. Automation is deterministic. You define a fixed sequence of steps ahead of time. If this happens, do that, then that. Think N8N, Zapier, classic RPA. There's no reasoning involved at all.
Okay, but that predictability is kind of the point, right?
Totally. It's fast, cheap, and completely predictable. That's exactly what you want for repeatable, well-defined, high-volume work. But the moment something happens outside the shape it was built for, it doesn't adapt. It just fails.
So then what makes something an actual agent?
An agent uses a language model as the decision maker inside a loop. It looks at the current state, reasons about what to do next, picks an action, sees what happens, and repeats. It keeps going until the goal is met, or it decides to stop.
So the difference is it decides what to do next.
That's the whole thing. Automation just executes a script someone already wrote. An agent can handle ambiguous input, unexpected errors, or a task where the right next step depends on what just happened.
Okay, so here's what I did. I dropped one LLM call into the middle of a workflow that's otherwise totally rigid. And I've been calling it an agent this whole time.
Yeah, that's the mistake a ton of founders make when they're vibe coding an MVP. It looks agentic on the surface, but everything around that one call is still a fixed script.
And that's why it breaks the second the model's output isn't the exact shape the next step wants.
Exactly. It breaks the same way any brittle automation breaks. That's not an agent, that's automation, with one unpredictable step glued into the middle, which is honestly often worse than either one done properly.
So how do I know which parts of my product should be which?
Automation is the right call when the task is well-defined, repeatable, and doesn't require judgment. An agent is the right call when the task is ambiguous, needs to adapt mid-task, or has to actually decide what to do.
Give me an example of something that really needs the agent.
Debugging a failing test, open-ended research, triaging a support ticket that could go a dozen directions. Those need a real agent loop with actual tool access, not a single inference call stapled onto a pipeline.
So is it one or the other? Or do I need both?
Most real products need both, combined correctly. Automation for the deterministic, high-volume backbone, and an actual agent loop with real tool access and error handling for the parts that genuinely need judgment.
And figuring out which parts are which is basically the hard part.
That's most of the actual engineering work, honestly. It's the difference between an AI feature that survives real usage and one that falls over the first time a user does something unexpected.
Okay, I clearly need help drawing those lines in my own product.
That's exactly what we do at NukyLabs. Take a vibe-coded MVP and harden it for production. If you want, the $150 Vision Kickoff is a good place to map out which parts are automation and which actually needs an agent.
Yeah, let's do that. That's exactly the conversation I need.